And action. I was cleaning up and found this today. It's the clapboard that we used when we did stuff at the station. It used to have a little like chalkboard you could write on underneath it that you could change. But so there you go. You know the beginning. And the reason they make that clap noise, it's so they can sync the sound with the space of where the actual video is. So they can, listening to editing, they can hear the clap and know that that's the start of where that closes so they can watch and the sound can sync. Because sometimes you ever watch something and the music seems not to be totally there. Right, it's not synced. And that's annoying. That's how artists get busted for lip syncing because, I don't know, the song starts and they go to sing one song and the different song plays. Who did that on Saturday Night Live? I forget. Anyway, how's everybody doing tonight? Happy Randsanity. Episode 165 on this 12th day of November 2025. Hope everyone had an interesting day. Day after Veterans Day. Today was Garbage Day because it was the day after. Now, does that mean tomorrow's recycling because it's Thursday, or does it bump to Friday? I'm assuming Friday, but the blue bins are out anyway, so people just don't know. I had an interesting interaction today with the police. I was coming out of Lowe's, and there was a cop car parked where my car was parked, and I could not get my car out because there was a car in front of it, and he was parked behind me. So I was kind of like, I need to get out. And he just kind of looked at me. I was like, yeah. I was like, I'm parked in. I was like, that's my car. I need to back out. And again, he just kind of looked at me like he was annoyed that I was going to make him move his car. I was like, bro, really? Come on, man. I was like, I understand you have things to do, but it wasn't like he didn't look like he was doing anything of any great importance. He wasn't writing anything down. I didn't see him like talking on the radio. He just seemed to be like sitting there. So I just kind of stood there and waited a minute. And then he kind of looked up like this sort of like, fine. And he just backed up a little bit. But I was like, okie dokie. Whatever, man. Like, sorry to harsh your mellow, but I was like, just, I need to leave. Very strange interaction. I really wasn't expecting that today. But I mean, look, every interaction, when you read, when I read about the interaction with the police, the artists, it's always like busted in their hotel room, busted in their apartment. It's like, what are you doing to have them come to the door in the first place? And why are you letting them in? Remember, they're like vampires. They don't just come in. They have to be invited in. Unless they have a warrant. Sure, come on in. You don't let them in. The minute you let them in, it's no longer your scene. It's theirs. That's how that works, people. Just be aware of that. The police aren't bad. It's just bad when they're in your house. Because then plain sight rule takes place. So anything they see in plain sight, or say they may see in plain sight, well, that's never good. So anyway, we'll move on. Remember, there's no particular order to any of this. It just happens. So there's dates and days that go back and forth. Historical timelines don't exist. I jump around, and there's things that happen to do with acting, TV, movies, and music, mostly music. So today, now this one I found to be, how would you know? 1910, first possible movie stunt. A man jumps from a burning balloon into the Hudson River. Wow, it didn't see anything more than that. I was like, what, there's like a film crew nearby? Or just some dude jumped out of a burning balloon into the Hudson River? I'm thinking that the balloon is on fire and I'm trying to escape for my life. I don't know. That one seemed questionable to me. That's person goes to feed tiger. Well, yeah, you reach your arm in the cage and it rips your arm off and it eats because it eats your arm. But I mean, that's not the you buried the lead a little bit there. Man feeds tiger. Right, his arm. So yeah, I don't know. It seems sketchy. So I'm gonna just laugh at that one and say, sure, okay, it was a movie stunt jumping out of a burning balloon into the Hudson River in 1910. Whatever. Go from 1910 to 1992 because I missed a lot of stuff in between. British TV comedy Ab Fab. Absolutely fabulous premieres. Ugh. Now, if you've never watched Ab Fab, if you're not of the right age group, you didn't figure it out, you never saw it, you have to go watch it, okay? Just go watch some episodes of it. It is just hilarious, okay? Edna Monsoon, Patsy Stone. They're basically two British women who were both involved in Edna is a PR mogul. She drinks a lot. She does illicit drugs. And she's always trying to follow the latest fad to lose weight and stay young. And her friend, Patsy, is 10 times worse. She drinks more. She does more drugs. She's an ex-model. And she's always getting them into some sort of predicaments. And it's just hilarious. The two of them are it's just a funny-ass show. It aired for the first time today on the 11th of November, or 12th of November in 1992. Yeah, Edna Monsoon is the PR mogul, heavy drinker, drug abuser. Patsy Stone is the ex-model whose alcohol and desperate promiscuity eclipses Edna's. It ran from 1992 to 2012, and it had a couple of different movies and things along the way. So yes, if you've never watched Ab Fab, I highly recommend. Go check it out. It's totally worth it. It's hilarious. I'm sure you can find it on the YouTubes. And it's a series, so it went on for years. It's just dumb. But recommended, okay? Just saying. 1984. McCartney releases We All Stand Together, a single. There you go. I'm getting tired of the Beatles all the time, dominating everything. So that one I was like, whatever. It seemed nothing of any great circumstance, so I didn't care. 2021, ABBA? ABBA. Yes, ABBA. ABBA releases new music. The first new music that they've released in 40 years. 40 years. I did not realize that they released new music. I did not listen to new ABBA music for some reason. I was going to find new ABBA music, but I did not because I ran out of time tonight because I read a bunch of other things that I kind of fell down a couple of rabbit holes tonight. I also fell down a video rabbit hole tonight. I was trying to do video editing, and I completely screwed up my one computer, so you aren't going to see my masterful editing of video work that I was trying to do tonight. Maybe soon I'll get that going. But yeah, it ran out of time and patience. But anyway, their new album, Voyage, it goes to number 1 in the UK album chart after 40 years. So that's great. ABBA. Who knew? Oh, as the Soup Dragons would say, don't be afraid of your freedom. I'm free to do what I want any old time. Woo! Britney Spears. Britney Spears, a judge in Los Angeles, California in 2021 ended her 14-year conservatorship. 14 years. Apparently it started when she was 25 and it didn't end until she was 39. I had to read up. I kind of know what a conservatorship is, but basically it is, I think it was her dad that held it. Basically, he gets all the dough. He has to make sure she lives well or lives okay, keeps her well-being in mind, but controls all of her finances, like for everything. So, dad's skimming and having a good time, and Brittany's, not getting everything. So, and it said it's only if you're, the reasons are pretty slim, but a judge has to order it. So I don't know what Brittany did when she was 25 and how dad convinced her. I didn't research all that, but yeah, conservatorship. Don't have that happen if you have lots of money, apparently. Travis Young, yo, Randy, what up, Travis? How you doing, buddy? How you doing? I'm here. Look, I'm reading historical music things. I was just talking about Britney Spears ending her conservatorship in 2021. In 2022, now I don't know. You got to give him, I guess, some props for this one. Jeff Bezos announces his third Courage and Quality or Civility, his Courage and Civility Award. The recipient is Dolly Parton. And what he gives her is $100 million for the charities of her choosing with no limitations. $100 million. I mean, yeah, he's rich. He's got the whole, Amazon thing, but that's a pretty good chunk of money to just give away that someone can give to charity, besides yourself. Here you go, Miss Dolly Parton. Here's a $100 million check. Do it as you choose. I mean, if someone gives you $100 million, do you then do you go to the museum and say, hey, I want the Dolly Parton wing. Here's $100 million. I mean, that's not really, I think you're self-grandizing for that. I don't know if that's kosher, but yeah, I mean, or you could give $1 million to 100 charities, $500,000 to 200 charities. I mean, that's a lot. $1 million is a lot to give to a charity, especially smaller ones that, it would affect them. We actually talked about charities a long time ago, and we knew a charity that got a donation of $1 million, and they didn't manage it well, and it ended them. Because the problem was that if someone gives you all this money at once, they stopped fundraising. They stopped doing all the things that they did to make money, and they just spent the money assuming it would last forever. Eventually it ran out. They hadn't done any fundraising. They hadn't built a war chest. They just thought that the money would be there because they did all these extravagant programming, and then it was the end of them. So yeah, I think it's a blessing and a curse. That's just me. I'm just saying, blessing and a curse. Oh wait, I flipped it the other direction, which was not the direction of travel I wanted to go in. Oh, excuse me. 1956, Johnny Ray, not Johnny Ray Davis, but Johnny Ray. I don't know who Johnny Ray is. It just seemed an interesting story, so I kept it in my scroll. So Johnny Ray was number 1 on the UK singles chart with Just Walking in the Rain. It stayed at number 1 for 7 weeks, making it this year's number 1, written in 1952 by Johnny Bragg and Robert Riley. Now, the story is that they were both prisoners in the Tennessee State Prison in Nashville after a comment made by Bragg as the pair crossed the courtyard while it was raining. Just walking in the rain. I'll stab you later. Just walking in the rain. I'll see you in the shower later. Just walking in the rain. What I don't know. That just seems, the backstory just seemed really sketchy. And I was trying to think of all the backstory that could be part of just walking in the rain. There's a lot. And none of it's good. That's the whole point. It seems like all of it will be very bad. Very bad backstories of walking in the prison yard. See, again, the Beatles, 1962, the Beatles appeared in the Star Club in Hamburg, Germany, sharing the bill with Little Richard. Again, so what? It's like, okay, great, that's awesome, great, we care, yay. Again, the Beatles, I'm just getting a little tired of the Beatles. I'm going to have to be really selective with my Beatles comments just because, there seems to be so much of it. Now this one I was like, wait, really? 1965, the Velvet Underground made their live debut when they played at Summit High School in New Jersey. I was like, wait, Summit High School in New Jersey? I know, I've been to Summit High School in New Jersey. It's like 2 towns over from where I grew up. I dated a girl that lived in Summit, New Jersey. That's so crazy. I was like, really? That's where the Velvet Underground made their like live debut? At Summit High School? Okay. Sure, why not? The band was paid $75 for the gig. They opened for the American garage band Middle Class, spelled Myddle. So creative, Middle Class. When they decided to take the gig, the drummer, Angus McLiss, abruptly left the group. He protested what he considered this being a sellout, playing live for other people. Apparently, he was also unwilling to be told when to start and when to stop playing. I mean, if you're the drummer, you kind of set the tone for the band. So I would guess if you just start playing it and when no one's ready, wait, are we playing? And then just ending, wait, did the song end? Are we done? There seems to be, maybe there has to be a little more constraints on the drummer. So, peace out, Angus McLiss. That sounds like that was not a bad decision for you to leave the band. 1965, Mark Bolan. After changing his name from Toby Tyler to Mark Bolan, the future T-Rex star performed his first single, The Wizard, on the UK TV show Ready, Set, Steady, Go. Remember, Ready, Steady, Go is a song by Paul Oakenfold. It's something else. Somebody else commented that was another song. I forget who did that. Travis, who did that? Ready, Steady, Go. I know it was Paul Oakenfold because that was in it's been in a bunch of movies. And occasionally if I'm feeling like I must have some industrial / dubstep type music, I will listen to Paul Oakenfold. I do have a mix. Yes, I do. But anyway, Toby Tyler to Mark Bolan. I don't know. Is that really a big change? Hey, I'm Toby Tyler. Hey, I'm Mark Bolan. What? I don't know. You tell me. That doesn't seem like that drastic of a change, you know? Randy Malloy, Thomas Corder. Whatever. 1966, The Monkees' debut album started a 13-week run at number 1 on the U.S. album chart. It sold 15 million copies. That's crazy. I mean, The Monkees? Who knew? I was not aware. But I mean, you know, hey, we're the Monkees. Living the dream, sir. Living the dream. Indeed, Mr. Travis, indeed. Pink Floyd appeared at the Corn Exchange in Bedford, England. The set list for these early Floyd shows included, okay, now tell me what the theme is when I'm done. Let's Roll Another One. Give Me a Break. Interstellar Overdrive. Astronomy Domini. And Stoned Alone. Stoned Alone was also known as I Get Stoned and was possibly the first song Syd Barrett wrote for Pink Floyd. Did we notice a theme in any of those songs? Sid, no wonder you lost your mind. What were you doing, buddy? Lots of weed? Lots of acid? LSD? Shrooms? What? Seems like there was definitely some drug-induced lyrics there, my friend. I'm just saying. That's what it seemed to me. Now, I'm going to change cameras and go to camera 4 because I see the timer. I caught it this time. So Todd's not here to witness my non-screwing up. So look at that. Ta-da! And did not go to black. And I'm not going to hit camera 1 because camera 1's not working because I screwed that up too. So back to camera 2. All right. Oh, Jesus. That startled me. I guess my... It's Randsanity, everyone. It's just crazy around here. Even the poster's falling off the wall. Don't ask me. Anyway, 1968. UK book and record chain W.H. Smith's refused to display the Jimi Hendrix Experience album Electric Ladyland due to the naked girls featured on the sleeve. Remember we talked about that. They got paid like $10 to do the models, and then the models got paid $10 more to be naked. The album was made available as 2 albums and with changed artwork after the complaints. So they got the sleeves changed. Now this one I found to be like, really? Someone sent me a set list for a show that's happening in Madrid, Spain this summer, like a band lineup. I forget the name of it now. I'll have to look. But holy crap. It's one of these things where I'm like, all right, so I need to make money from this because I need to go to Madrid, Spain this summer to go see this festival, and then I can go ahead and report back to it. So if you want to start throwing dollars to me, I'll go ahead and put my Venmo QR code up, and we can start washing money toward me so I can go to Madrid this summer and go see this concert. But here's one for you. In 1971, Led Zeppelin appeared at the Locarno, Sunderland, England, with tickets at like $1.75. The set included Immigrant Song, Heartbreaker, Black Dog, Since I've Been Loving You, Rock and Roll, Stairway to Heaven, That's the Way, Going to California, Tangerine, Dazed and Confused, What Is and What Should Never Be, Celebration Day, Whole Lotta Love, and Communication Breakdown. Okay, for like $2 to see that? Yeah, yes please. I would like that. Now, see, if Led Zeppelin came back today and said that they were going to play that set list right there and it was going to be a $500 ticket, if they still sounded good, I don't know. I might scrounge that $300 up to be behind stage. I don't know. I had seen McCartney, so it wasn't like I was like, oh my God, I've never seen Paul McCartney before. I'd seen McCartney. So again, yes, I'm still talking about those $500 whatever tickets, you know, just bitching. Tickets shouldn't be that expensive, all right? Just saying. 1977, the Sex Pistols went to #1 on the UK album chart with their debut LP, Never Mind the Bollocks. Here's the Sex Pistols. Now, we talked about this before. People got in trouble for this. The punk group's only #1 album. The album is met by a hail of controversy upon its release. The first problem involved the allegedly obscene name of the album. You know, never mind the bollocks, here's the Sex Pistols. Secondly, the whole thing about the record shop guy, remember, he got arrested and prosecuted the Virgin Record store for displaying this in the window. And then, of course, then there was more outrage sparked by the lyrics of the songs God Save the Queen and Anarchy in the UK. I mean, they're great songs. It's a really amazing album. And if you don't like the Sex Pistols, you know, you can piss off. 1983, Bob Dylan's Infidels album reached its highest position when it peaked at #9 in the UK chart. Dylan's 22nd studio album was co-produced by Dire Straits guitarist Mark Knopfler. Dylan also approached Elvis Costello, David Bowie, Frank Zappa as other possible producers, and they all said no. So he got Mark Knopfler. Now, why would they say no to Dylan? I mean, is he difficult to work with? I don't know. I don't know Bob. 1988, U2 started a 6-week run at #1 on the US album chart with their 6th studio album, Rattle and Hum, which went on to sell over 14 million copies. Yeah, it was a good album. Not going to lie. I do like U2. I've seen, of the bands I've seen, I do think U2 is my most seen band. And I've seen them in pretty unique places. I saw them back in like early 80s on April Fool's Day at Madison Square Garden. I saw them at the Super Bowl halftime right after 9/11. I saw them at a full dress rehearsal in Los Angeles at the LA Coliseum with about, I don't know, less than 100 other people on an Easter Sunday, no less. And when we left the thing, Bono said, "Enjoy your eggs." Didn't really pay attention to him, but as we were leaving, there was someone standing handing out Easter eggs. I still have the Easter egg. It wasn't a real egg. It was a chocolate egg. But I still have the chocolate egg from U2 giving us Easter eggs. And then I've seen him a bunch of other times in like Cleveland, and I saw him at the Horseshoe in Columbus. Yeah, so I think U2 is my most seen band. Anyway, I guess that makes me a fan. I don't know. 1990, Ron Wood of the Rolling Stones broke both his legs, or had them broken, more accurately. Apparently his car crashed on the M4 motorway near Marlborough, Wiltshire, England. He wasn't injured in the crash. He got out of his car, which, guess what you're not supposed to do? Don't get out of your car. Or if you do, get away from your car. You don't stand next to it. So standing near his car, Woods was trying to wave other cars past when he was run over. I mean, that's kind of common sense if you don't know that. If you get into a car crash on the highway, stay in your car, or if you get out of your car, get very far away from your car. Don't like stand next to it. Go up on the embankment or, on the other side of the guardrail or something, because people hit parked cars because they just don't realize they're there. And next thing you know, they, zooming up behind it and they crash it. And Ron Wood, lucky to be alive, dude. Come on. That's just, I don't know. I don't know if you get the douche canoe of the night, but that's definitely, you get the dumbass award for that one. Ron Wood. Spice Girls, #1, Spice World, blah, blah, blah. Don't care. Sorry. MTV Music Awards, Madonna, Best Female Artist. Spice Girls again, blah, blah, blah. Natalie Imbruglia, blah, blah, blah. Don't care. Leanne Rimes, blah, blah, don't care. Destiny's Child, blah, blah, don't care. Sorry. 2001, The Beatles. Again, but this one's, I guess, okay. The 3 living former Beatles met for the last time at George Harrison's hotel in New York City for lunch. This was the 12th of November, 2001. George Harrison died weeks later at a friend's home in Los Angeles on the 29th of November at 2001 at the age of 58. So we'll be mourning the loss of George Harrison here coming up in the next couple of weeks. So there's that. Speaking of the Beatles, 2002, diehard Beatles fans were enraged after Paul McCartney altered the song writing credits on his Back in the U.S. 2002 album, changing them to McCartney and Lennon from Lennon and McCartney, taking top billing over his co-collaborator, songwriter, and friend John Lennon. No, I don't know. Is that something that's, is that enraged worthy? I don't know. I mean, John's not here to defend himself, so I guess it's kind of okay. You don't have a choice, do you? You kind of do it if you want. I don't know. Enraged, though. That's what I heard. Enraged. Boy George, former Culture Club frontman, was charged with false imprisonment of a 28-year-old man in 2007. Police said that the offense was alleged to have taken place at the 47-year-old's home in Hackney in London on April 28th of that year, 2007. The singer-DJ was bailed and was due to appear before Thames Magistrates Court on the November 22nd. I don't know, but what are you doing, Boy George? I mean, I didn't look into this all because I didn't want to. I was like, no, I don't. It's your thing, man. Sounds like that was a you thing. Speaking of the Jimi Hendrix Experience, Mitch Mitchell, the British drummer with the Jimi Hendrix Experience, was found dead in his U.S. hotel room at the age of 61. He started as a children's television program in the leading role in 1960. British films Bottomed Up with Jimmy Edwards Mitchell had been working with Georgia Fame and the Blue Flames when in 1966 he was invited to audition for a new band being formed to back Jimi Hendrix. In December 68, Mitchell played with the Dirty Mac, an all-star band assembly from the Rolling Stones Rock and Roll Circus with John Lennon, Eric Clapton, and Keith Richards. Beyonce, 2008, Don't Care. Don't care about the Manchester guitar. A guitar signed by some of the biggest names in the Manchester music scene sold for $10,000 at a charity auction. The Manchester guitar was sold through an online auction site. eBay was covered with signatures from the likes of the Stone Roses, Oasis, and the Buzzcocks. Never mind the Buzzcocks. Taylor Swift, Robbie Williams, Jim Tucker of the Turtles died. Gene Cipriano also died. He was an American woodwindist and session musician. Gene Cipriano, known as Cip, died at the age of 94. He played on hundreds of recording sessions and recorded music for numerous television shows, including Batman, The Flintstones, MASH, Mission Impossible, Star Trek, The Simpsons, American Dad. He also played on West Side Story and performed the saxophone part for the characters played by Tony Curtis in the film Some Like It Hot. He was also a noted session musician in Los Angeles as a member of the Wrecking Crew and played on many pop hits in the 60s and 70s, including the Beach Boys, the Monkees, Frank Sinatra, Neil Diamond, Tony Bennett, Frank Zappa, and Lady Gaga. So, see, you don't need to be in your own band if you can play. So you could be a session musician and be famous and do all this stuff too. Just saying. Just saying. Born on this day, Neil Young. Happy birthday, Mr. Neil Young, 80 years old. My funny story of meeting Neil Young was he was drinking Budweiser, and he had that Budweiser song. And every time someone relatively had a camera nearby, he had someone standing right next to him who just took the beer out of his hand, so he never had a beer in his hand when he had a picture taken. And then the minute they go back, he didn't break gaze. He didn't look down. Right back in his hand. And it was like, okay, that's a personal assistant to have right there. Just boop, 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 boop. The exchange was just flawless. You know, it was like watching an Olympic athlete passing the baton in a relay race. Didn't look down, just beer left his hand, beer returned to his hand. Very funny. I was amused by it. Leslie McEwen of the Bay City Rollers, born on this day. Ryan Gosling from Barbie, 45 on this day. Anne Hathaway, 43 on this day. And the only person I really found of any note that died, I mentioned John Mitchell and Jim Tucker of the Turtles. Happy together. So happy together. Ba, ba, ba. And say I'm happy together. Because I'm happy I'm together with you. There you go. See? And I didn't feel like Sisyphus today. I didn't feel like I was pushing the rock up the hill. I got so much accomplished today. I got up early. My delivery happened. I got my mirror, and I just, man, I was on it today. I got 3 major big things done today. I didn't have to deal with the hateful building today since the auction's done. Now I just have to deal with all the hateful crap in the building and still get rid of it. But that's at least, it's not the picking through my bones kind of feeling anymore. So I felt very, very satisfied today. So good spirits, except for the fact that my thumb and finger are killing me. That smashed finger has now gotten a whole purple kind of hue to it. So I don't know what's going on with that. I may have to actually get it x-rayed. I don't know. But yeah, it's got this whole like purple vibe to the edges of the nails. Not the nail itself, but it's kind of no feeling around the top of it now. Feels kind of weird. I don't know what the hell happened. I mean, it got crushed. I know what happened, but I don't know what's going on with it. So who knows? Anyway, that was that. It's Wednesday, hump day. Tomorrow's Thursday. It was 50. That was nice. It wasn't sub-zero. I turned the heater off so I didn't make noise. I'll remember to turn it on so I won't freeze in my house. I'll try and get the video up because I really, really want to do the whole the idea is I'm going to have to get a third laptop, like I said, but I want to be able to have short vignette videos when I have someone that, like Jeff Bezos. He gets the applause, cheer. I was going to make a little short video that's like, the hero of the day, and then the zero of the day, or, in some circumstances, the douchebag of the day. Because those happen too. Just saying. Anyway, on that note, I'm going to depart, and I'm probably not going to watch TV tonight. Because what I've noted is the last 3 nights, I've survived all of about 10 minutes on the couch, and then I wake up 3 o'clock in the morning because I fell asleep immediately. So I'm not sure what the hell's going on. I'm getting up too early and I'm staying up too late. That's the problem. So we'll see. Anyway, I appreciate you. I am grateful for your attendance, and I thank you for joining me, friends. I look forward to serving you again tomorrow, and we'll do this all again, but entirely different. Be well. Fade into black. Ba 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 ba.